Chat on NFL Primetime. The spirited sprint to the postseason has begun. The Pats feeling all kinds of heat in Miami. How Brady and company escaped with a wild win. Not Eli's day early, then a late Giant surge. Why it was a history-making day for the Vikes. Not for Eli, but it was brother Peyton's day. Again, all day, how the Colts stayed perfect against the Texans. Carolina won 5 in a row. Could they keep it going at home against the stubborn Jets? Jets in the NFC West? St. Louis is gunning for Seattle, but the Seahawks had a chance to put a stranglehold in that division. All that and plenty more on NFL Prime Time.
NFL Primetime is presented by Miller Lite. Primetime is Miller time. And now, here's your host, Chris Berman.
And good evening once again, everybody. A happy Veterans Day weekend to you. Chris Berman along with Tom Jackson. Week 10 of the NFL. Dick Vermeil is starting a trend. What a wild finish in the Tampa Bay-Washington game. Another team trying to stay unbeaten. Other teams trying to, all of a sudden, important divisional games at this stage of the season.
And in a way, a record-setting day. We saw two things in the NFL today that we have never seen before in the 86-year history of the game.
And how about courtesy of the Norris division, our favorite division. But we begin with the team that is yet to lose, the Indianapolis Colts. Peyton Manning and the Colts off the big Monday night winner 8-0 against David Carr, the Texans. They won only one game just a few weeks ago. They were thrashed by the Colts. And here go the Colts again. Dallas Clark on the play fake. The big fella does the rest. 7-0 Indy first quarter. Late first quarter, same score. And out of the Batcave, stately Wayman Ridgeway nailed by Dante Robinson. Wow. He can lay the lumber, that's for sure. At least the Texans figuring, hey, don't make it so easy. Now on 4th and 1, they're deep in their own territory. Wait a minute. The Colts are going to go for it, and what happens? Head bobbing, we're going to shit, and they get the penalty.
3rd and 5 or less, you always tell your defense, hold the count, hold your water, don't jump.
Dum-da-dum-dum, says Tom Capers. Later in the drive, Edger and James. Hey, you know what? He's at 1,000 already this year, Tom. 14-0 the Colts on his 5-yard run. Late second quarter, Manning. This is where Brandon Stokely is so tough. Just a half a step in the seam. Touchdown, 21 yards. His first TD of the year. That's kind of hard to believe. 21-0 Indy. Texans have scored twice. 21-14-2. Manning, pump fake. Marvin Harrison, 30 yards, touchdown. Manning and Harrison. First quarterback wide receiver duo to surpass 10,000 yards. Peyton with 3 touchdown passes. Passes our friend, Steve Young. Now with 233 lifetime for Peyton, he's moved past Steve for 18th on the all-time list. Edge, Harrison at a 100-yard day. Edge at a 100-yard day. 90 touchdowns between Manning and Harrison. Guess what? 9-0. So now the Colts have some tough games. They've got Cincinnati next week on the road. They've got a Monday night game with Pittsburgh. They have San Diego coming in. They're at Jacksonville. Right. They're at Seattle. It's going to be raining there on Christmas Eve. Just laying out some of the games. They're not thinking being undefeated.
That's right.
Could they do it, Tom? It's a lot to ask.
Well, I think it's a lot to ask in this day and age, and I think certainly when you talk about that schedule that Chris just put forth, I think that it's going to be very, very difficult. But I do know this. They are not thinking about going undefeated. They're thinking about winning their division. They're thinking about getting a bye week. They're thinking about getting home field advantage and thinking about making their way to Detroit in the Super Bowl. And the thing I love about this team right now is that you can see Peyton starting to spread the ball around. Yeah. It's Clark, it's Wayne, it's Harrison, and all of these guys, they don't care. You know, Stokely, his first touchdown catch, they don't care. What they care about is putting the W's on the board.
I know it's only Houston, and, you know, they've only won one game, but isn't it interesting that the defense got set first for the Colts this year? Then the offense certainly looks like it's getting set. They will like this, though. They're the 11th team since the merger in 70 to go 9-0. The previous 10, 7 made the Super Bowl. 5 of the 10 won the Super Bowl. Those are numbers Tony Dungy and company will like. Cincinnati and Pittsburgh up the next 2 games for the Colts. When we return, we're only getting started. Eli Manning, the Giants, unbeaten at home. And Minnesota comes in having been blown out on the road 4 times. Surprise. Patriots and Dolphins. The Pats, could they maintain their lead in their division?
NFL Primetime. presented by Miller Lite. On your next beer run, grab some great-tasting, less-filling Miller Lite. Miller, good call. And in part by Walk the Line, starring Joaquin Phoenix and Reese Witherspoon. Friday, only in theaters. And Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL. With Visa, you're protected. Welcome back to NFL Primetime, presented by Miller Lite.
Welcome back to NFL Primetime. Detroit at home against Arizona. Boy, when Roy Williams plays, I mean, he's really good. Problem is he hasn't played that much in a year and a half, but Tommy played today, so guess what happened? He was really good. Look at that catch from Joey Harrington. Lions lead 7-0 right away against Arizona. Cardinals at their own 2. Ian Badejo is stuffed for a safety by Big Daddy Dan Wilkinson, who is playing great every game for Detroit.
Yeah, that Oliver Ross trying to block him here. You see him do a great swim move over the guard. He comes inside. And, man, when he punches you, you're not going another step.
He tackled him with his knee. Goodbye. It's 9-0. Then Harrington to work. Starting again, Garcia's still injured, and he's got Roy Williams. It's a different offense. Look at that. 16-0 Lions. Now with the score 19-11. Very Arizona-like to have 11 points. Harrington, Roy Williams, bang, bang, and in. 7 catches, 117, 3 touchdown catches. First Lion with 3 touchdown catches since Herman's Moore 10 years ago in 1995. Detroit wins 29-21. Oh, by the way, Neil Racker's 2 for 2 field goals. Arizona, he's 28 for 28 on the year. But when those guys are in there, like Williams, they have some firepower. Harrington said, thank you, I'll make the pass.
Yeah, the wide receivers finally coming along. And you think about Arizona and that group of wide receivers they have, but no balance with that offense. A lot of pressure on Kurt Warner, the quarterback.
So the Norris division, trust me, having a good day today. Ravens at the Jaguars. Fred Taylor out, but no problem for Greg Jones, who got the start at running back up the middle, right up the gut. You know, the Ravens have injuries, too. We all know that. 20-yard gain. Greg Jones, 106 yards. Same drive, Byron Leftwich to their number 1 pick, Matt Jones. The quarterback from Arkansas, now all wide receiver for Jaguars, 32 yards, 7-3 Jacksonville. Kyle Bowler, hurt in September, back to start at quarterback for the Ravens. He actually completed, his first 7 passes, dinking and dunking, but no time to wallow in the mire. Sacked by Rob Meyer is Bowler. And then Gerald Sensabaugh, in Bowler's game, but bang, knocked him out of his Sensabaugh.
They tell the quarterbacks, learn to slide, avoid that kind of contact. Then again, Bowler back to throw. And that's Bobby McCray and Terry Cousin with a huge hit on him right there. But he would get up, he would stay in the game, but he was sacked 4 times on the day.
4 times, and Brian Billick says, hey, he can be our quarterback. He's our guy. I'm sticking with him. But Rusty, obviously, 3 interceptions, including this one by Mike Peterson, who could go all the way. 26 yards. You know, we mentioned it last week. 58 games, the Jaguars hadn't scored 30 points, tying a record with the Cleveland Browns of the mid to late 90s and early this century. Of course, the Browns didn't field the team for a few years. So as soon as we mention it, the Jaguars get 30 points. They crush Baltimore 30-3. And the Ravens have lost 4 in a row. Bowler back. Got work to do. Jacksonville, quietly, 6-3. When we return, wait till you see the Windy City for this game between the Bears and Niners, in which an NFL record was set. Another NFL record set by the Minnesota Vikings, although it pained the coach to watch it. We'll explain.
The Fantasy Ticker, brought to you by Chevy, the new Chevrolets, an American revolution.
Welcome back to NFL Primetime, everybody. Well, at the halfway mark, a surprise leader in the NFC East. That would be the New York Football Giants at 6-2. And you're New York, so you're 6-2. And this week you heard, geez, I wonder if they could get to the Super. Shh, shh. Here's our prime cut, the Giants at home against the Minnesota Vikings. Michael Strahan and the Giants saying we're 5-0 at home already. Remember, they're going to have 9 home games this year. This is our house. And Mike Tice, oh, man, we're even seeing it. Jamar Taylor gets pushed into him. Tice, we'll hear from him later. You knew he was hurt.
You could tell Coach took quite a shot there. That's all. I was worried about him.
Eli Manning picked off by Darren Sharper. This made Tice feel better. And Darren Sharper, one of the big free agent signings, could go all the way. 92 yards. Eli made him turn in, but there's no help, Tom. 92 yards. And here's what the coach saw. Oh, man, we're not making fun because...
Just goes to show the way a great play can overcome some pain that you're feeling. Coach pretty excited about watching Sharper go down the sideline.
So the Giants, the Vikings lead at 7-6, and watch Jibril Wilson bang off the corner, drill Brad Johnson starting his second game. Nailed right there.
Yeah, and amazing that Brad actually was able to hang on to that ball. Amazing he hung on to it.
Second half kickoff, a 7-6 game. Corin Robinson at his own 14. Cuckoo, cuckoo, Mr. Robinson. He could go all the way and score 86 yards. So now we've got an interception return and a kickoff return, and then, no, you can't be a punt return by Waltzing Mawilde. Waltzing Mawilde Moore, 71 yards, a pick, a kick, and a punt, all returned. First time in NFL history. What the heck is going on out there? Says Tom Coughlin. And there's the owner of the Vikings, Ziggy Wolf, getting ziggy with it. He's seeing history. Down 21-13, 4 minutes to go. Manning, pass, tipped. There's Sharper. Once again, Johnny on the spot. He had 3 interceptions. What the heck's going on out there? Says Tom Coughlin. Now under 2 minutes to go. Giants still down 8. Have a shot. Tiki Bear down to the 3. First and goal, Giants, and a spike. Remember that. So with 1:27 to go, Spike gave him time to catch their breath. Barber scores a 3-yard touchdown. Down 21-19. They go for 2. And they give us to Tiki again. He's in there. But there's a minute 21 left, not what, like 40 or something.
That's correct.
56 seconds to go. Brad Johnson to Jermaine Wiggins from
East Boston.
He's had a nice career. Pats, Panthers, and certainly with the Vikings. First down. Now, again, 34 seconds. Johnson finds Wiggins from
East Boston.
Into field goal range for Paul Ettinger. The corkscrew from 48 yards sails right through the uprights. Good. And the Vikings win 24-21 with 3 returns that have never been seen together by one team in a game before. A shocking win for the Vikes, a shocking loss for the Giants. Afterwards, the coaches.
But I got the worst injury of either a sprained or torn MCL. 14 years in the league, I never hurt my knee. Get wiped out on a punt return. That's kind of embarrassing. I guess I was turning and yelling at somebody.
Very poor performance by our team to be in a situation we were in and fumble the opening kickoff, have a punt return against for a touchdown, a kickoff return against, an interception when we're knocking on the goal line, 5 turnovers. Just beyond belief that we would play that poorly.
Well, Tom Coughlin, if that hat was an egg, it would be fried, and you understand it. Here it is. Never before has a team done this. So with those returns, with only 137 yards in offense, Tom, the Minnesota Vikings win a game. 5 turnovers, Giants. It's just, it's still a young team. And look, Tom Coughlin would certainly not want anybody to make excuses and give the Vikings credit for doing that. But it's a young team that has to learn to win games. They're supposed to win. That's a lesson as well in this league.
Yeah, I think when you look at this game, you're going to take certain things away. Obviously, you're going to do a lot of work in the area of special teams. The quarterback understands, and he will learn, Eli will, that you have to be awfully careful with the football once you get down in the red zone, cherish those points. Defensively, this is a team that has not given up a touchdown now in 3 football games. So take that away. You're playing well. You're still going to be at the top of your division. Regardless, you might be tied with someone, but regardless of what happens, you're going to be at the top of your division. You're still a young group with a young quarterback learning to play the game. I think they're still in good shape, but certainly this one you expected to win. And Brad Johnson, no matter what you say about Brad Johnson, he's been there. He knows how to not make mistakes and give you a chance to win games.
And so the Giants maybe, looking ahead a little bit to Philly coming in next week. That'll be a big game at the Meadowlands. That division, boy, everything is possible. Minnesota, well, the owner took a High time to get on the sidelines. He saw himself quite a win for the Vikings. When we return, Broncos, Mike Shanahan and the Broncos have had the Raiders number. That's for sure. Will they have it again today? And in Miami, the Dolphins have had the Patriots number. New England really needs the game. Miami actually playing for first as well. We'll be back.
Inside the Numbers, brought to you by Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL. With Visa, you're protected.
Visa Skycam gets you set for Sunday Night Football. Hines Ward and the Steelers at home against their longtime rival, Cleveland Browns, at the bottom of the hour.
It's time now for your chance to win one of 100 Philips HD TVs with DirecTV service for a year. Log on to 100yardblitz.com to enter. The code word is 3 Rivers.
Back on Primetime, the Buffalo Bills against the Kansas City Chiefs. That's London Fletcher. What a game he would play today. Kelly Holcomb sacked by a young man named Jared Allen, who's had a heck of a season already. He had 2 sacks, ball popped loose, Chiefs ball. Holcomb slammed to the turf. Head injury, would not return. And so, enter back the starting quarterback at the beginning of the year, J.P. Lossman. Plan was to use him a little bit here and there, but now they got to use him a lot here and there. And he makes the most of his opportunity to Lee Evans. Between defenders, 2 minutes left in the first half, and the Bills take a 7-3 lead. Then, Trent Green is going to be picked off by Angelo Crowell. That's Green's first pick after 159 straight passes.
And Fletcher not only had 20 tackles in this game, he leveled the quarterback, Trent Green, right there, and that got the whole situation on the sideline cooking a little bit.
And they're talking going into the locker room at halftime. Dan Rashad Baker gets in the act. Green had an off day. He's picked off there. It's still 7-3. Lossman says, I found Lee Evans once. How about this? Beautiful. And the feet are in, and that's what the Bills are thinking. They're going with Lossman. What a catch, too. And look at the security guard who broke his leg. But look at that. It's Buffalo. They're tough in Buffalo.
Yeah,
he personally circled that wagon. We hope he has an operation and gets back on his feet soon. Meanwhile, Green picked off by Terrence McGee. 3 picks for the Bills, who on defense, like we said, had 3 picks, a fumble recovery, sacked Trent Green 6 times. Fletcher had 20 tackles. Crowell had 15 tackles. Lawyer Malloy had 12 tackles. And the high-scoring Chiefs had only 3 points despite outgaining the Bills.
Yeah, you play good defense. Lossman throws for 137 yards. McGahee only 66 yards on the ground. But you let the defense play. You give yourself a chance to win, especially at home in Buffalo. And inexplicable. The Chiefs, we would have thought they were going to be one of the high-scoring teams in this league. They come up with 3 points.
So they get that gamble at the end of the game last week from Vermeil, and they get 3 points on the road this time. So the Bills come in, and now they are 4-5, and now with the youngster back at quarterback. Well, there's a youngster still playing quarterback for the New England Patriots named Tom Brady, and it's pretty much apparent that if they're going to go anywhere, they got to score as many points as possible. Defense not close to the team that won the last 2 Super Bowls. The 2 years before, the Patriots were 34-4. This year, they're 4-4, heading into their game in Miami, one of our prime cuts, because the Dolphins are 3-5, and if they could beat New England, they would be tied for first place. Bill Belichick and Nick Saban, such great friends dating back to days at Navy. Saban was the defensive coordinator for Belichick when he was head coach of the Cleveland Browns back in the early 90s. Look at Teddy Bruschi. Bruschi almost sacks Farrat on this completion, so if we're wondering how Teddy's doing,
well, you just look at the effort right there. He gets flipped over, but he's crawling his way, trying to make his way to the QB.
And then Bruschi again makes the play right here, Tom. He just has that back.
This is a touchdown unless he knocks this ball down, and you can see him right there get his left hand in. That's when he's at his best, I think, really, is in the red zone.
And Wes Welker said, man, I can't believe I didn't get the ball. Now Marty Booker says, give me the ball. Scoreless game midway second quarter, 24-yard gain. Then Farrat, down to the 3-yard line, is going to throw it up for Chris Chambers. And time has come today. Chris Chambers, the 3-yard touchdown. Dolphins lead at 7-0. Here's the play of the game. After the 2-minute warning, Farrat to Randy McMichael makes the grab. As he tries to scramble for more yards. He just got up. It was looked at. It is a fumble. The Patriots recover and end up with a field goal, so it's 7-3. Asante Samuel, third quarter, hammered Ricky Williams. So this was a defensive game here. The Vinatieri's kicked another field goal, 7-6. But Ben Watson, come here, Ben Watson, I need you. It's a touchdown. And they go for two and fail. It's 12-7 pass. Farad, how about that play? That happened so fast, you're not going to see this, but couldn't have been designed, Tom. Well, the ball hit him in the leg. It's a snap and throws everybody.
It's human nature. The ball is on the ground. The defense reacts to that. They respond. They end up late on the play. Easy throw and catch for the quarterback.
But here come the Patriots as they come right back. First play after the kickoff, Brady to Tim Dwight over the middle, 59 yards. Next play. Come here, Dr. Watson. I need you. What a catch by Ben Watson. Hurt all last year. Watch the job he does with the feet. He does it. 17-yard touchdown. Patriots go for two. Keith Evans, released by Miami October 25th. He was the running back after Dillon went out. He pounds it in for two. 23-16. The Dolphins have time, though. Just before the 2-minute warning, Wes Welker, all everything for Miami, sheds a tackle, 47 yards, Dolphins in business. And now, first and goal. Just over a minute to go. Farad, the fade to Booker. Ellis Hobbs bats it away, and they're going to do it on second down, too.
Yeah, but hard to throw the fade route with the corner playing off, basically playing back for the fade route.
And into the sun. Then, third and goal, the quick pass to the rookie Ronnie Brown. He's tackled for a loss. So now fourth and longer in goal. Farad for Chambers. Had a chance. Let's take a look. He had it to the ball was low, but he had a chance. But that Patriot magic. They're only 3-13 in Miami since 1989. But on this day, a game that they needed, they got, winning 23-16. So New England goes back over 500 at 5-4, despite the fact they're outgained by about 85 yards by the Dolphins. Heath Evans running for 84 yards, a coming out party, a little bit for Ben Watson. And again, it wasn't pretty, but the Patriots just went, they caught themselves in time. Look, they're not going to have home field or a second seed, but they're out to win the division and get in the playoffs, and it is still their division. As they won today, they're the only team over 500.
Well, you use the word magic, and I think that the heart of a champion, or whatever it is that they have, allows them to take away victories oftentimes when they really should probably lose football games. Today you have the Miami Dolphins on the way to going up 14-0. All of a sudden, the ball knocked loose by the New England Patriots. They end up going back down the field. They score 3. I think that the quarterback is so poised in terms of being behind, and the entire team understands we still will give ourselves a chance to win. Whatever that is, they can come back and make plays. And today, more injuries, more people banged up.
Yep.
You know, the likelihood that they could lose another lineman for next week, lose another DB for next week. They will continue to play the game as if nobody is missing. We just go out and try to win.
No, and the Patriots, you knew Brady, Vinatieri. Do you think they have a chance getting the ball with a couple minutes?
And Brewski looks pretty good there. 3 weeks in.
So New England gets a big, big win for them. When we return on this edition of NFL Primetime, what a game between Tampa Bay and Washington, and a gamble at the end that most coaches would not make. Sean Alexander's ragtime marching band rolls on.
You are watching NFL Primetime, presented by Miller Lite.
And now to the windy city of Chicago, which was everything and then some. Gusts up to what? 40 miles an hour. Woo! This is pregame warm-ups for the game between the Bears and the 49ers. Watch this field goal attempt by Robbie Solid Gould to the Bears. You think it's windy? Understatement of the year. And the kick is up, it's on the way, and it's what? No good. Man. And what? There it goes. He had no shot. Joe Nedney for the Niners, a 30-yard field goal. Now maybe being lefty helps. It's in there, it's good. And the Niners lead 3-0. It's an association game, Tom, because everyone knows it's windy. Cedric Benson with the carry, taken down awkwardly. Carted off this youngster, this #1 pick. sprained right knee, reevaluated Monday. Looked worse than that, didn't it?
Yeah, very unfortunate hit. You saw his leg got pinned up under him.
So he rides off. They already were without Thomas Jones. And then, they can't even get the field goal off at all. Brad Maynard G. Krebs is the holder. Can't handle that, so the wind is fouling up everything. Last play of the half. Niners Nedney field goal, and that's no good. Nathan Vasher, 8-yard. I'll run it out. What the heck? And gets past 5 Niners right there. He started 8 yards deep in his end zone. It's the ultimate. Could go all the way. An NFL record, 108 yards, the longest return in NFL history. They've been playing since 1920. What a play.
Yeah, great blocking by the Bears, and that's Brian Urlacher running to throw that very last block for him to spring him into the end zone.
Urlacher and the other fine linebacker, number 55, Lance Briggs up there too, so it's 7-3 Bears. Now, Bobby Wade had an interesting game returning punts for the Bears. Here he is, number 84. Fumble. Leads to a field goal. We're going back a little bit in time. Second quarter, Wade actually makes a good return to get the Bears in position and fumble. So they don't get good field position. Then, with the score 14-6 Bears, oh my goodness, he fumbles it inside his own 5, and the Niners have the ball at the 2. Bobby wanted to wade into some water in Lake Michigan. But off that turnover, what do the Niners do? Cody Pickett, incomplete to Brandon Lloyd, who gets a talking to because
you got to run in there and catch the football.
You had a chance. You know, the Niners, look, here they are trying to field goal at the end of the half. He goes 108 yards on him the other way. They threw only 2 passes in the first half. Cody Pickett, 1 of 13. The Bears win again for the 5th straight time, their longest winning streak since they won the division in 01, though they lose Tony Parrish to a broken leg. He started off.
Yeah, and say what we will about any of these divisions, the Chicago Bears continue to roll along with this rookie quarterback, Kyle Orton.
And a 100-yard game from Adrian Peterson. So 6-3 the Bears, who've won 5 in a row. Now, the Broncos at the Raiders. Jake Plummer has thrown no interceptions, as you pointed out this morning, Tom, in his last 6 games. At the Raiders, Plummer to Rod Smith. How many times has Rod Smith done it to Oakland? Well, when he plays for Mike Shanahan, the one-time Raider coach, Shanahan's Broncos are 15-5 against the Raiders.
Yeah, a little twirl and go. You could call it stop and go. Brings up the corner, and once the corner commits, Jake Plummer delivers a perfect football, and congratulations from Rod to him on the sideline.
Broncos defense, Tom. Here's Champ Bailey. They're coming off a bye. Champ got some rest. He needed it.
Yeah, and Champ Bailey obviously feeling better. Nice play on the football right there. And then later on in the quarter, this is going to be 3rd down for the Raiders. And look at Al Wilson. And you want to put the pressure on Kerry, make him move his feet, make him get out of the pocket, and make him throw the football on the run. Here again, Collins moving out of the pocket. Can't get those feet set. That's Michael Myers with the sack.
You know what he said on the sack?
What'd he say?
Yeah, baby. Then Collins.
And that's Ebenezer Ekubard right there, sacking it for a loss.
I had to, Tom. 13-0 Broncos at the half. Now with the score 23-10, Raiders driving. But Derek Williams steps in front of the receiver, and he's off to the races. 80 yards. The Broncos defense seals it in the end. The Broncos win at 31-17. So Shanahan now 16-5. They get the Raiders since he was fired by Al Davis many moons ago. And although the running backs, it was not, it was tough sledding for the Denver running backs. Again, they sat on the Raiders early, made him play catch-up. They couldn't do it.
Yeah, and the game plan is it's the 38 carries by the running backs versus the 22 throws that they make Jake Plummer make. When you look at on the other side of the field, it's Kerry Collins 50 throws. You're going to get 3 INTs.
The Broncos are 7-2 and roll into the AFC West. Speaking of the NFC West, Mark Bolger back. So is Torrey Holt. So was Isaac Bruce, because the Rams, 2 back of Seattle, needed to win in Seattle. Remember, they beat the Seahawks 3 times last year. Bolger, second quarter. Holt, whoa, we never saw it. Well, you're out that long? Don't tell me Torrey forgot what a football was.
Well, you just take another look. You can see he makes his break down the field, and somewhere he just lost the ball. he never got a chance to see where it was.
Big break, Seattle. Meanwhile, Sean Alexander, has he been running up a storm this year? 21 yards in the rain in Seattle on that game. Play action, Matt Hasselbeck to DJ Hackett. And now the Seahawks driving early second quarter down 3-0. Obviously, it's Alexander with his 15th touchdown of the season. First player in NFL history with 15 TDs in 5 straight years. We're in the middle of November. Seahawks lead 7-3. Alexander runs for his number. 37 yards. Man, he looks great. Same possession. Down to the 4. Raining. Driving. Touchdown. Seahawks. Alexander scores to make it 17-6. Bulger down 24-6 to Torrey Holt. Ooh, through his hand. Good throw. The Rams have pulled to within 24-16. Remember that huge comeback they had on this field last year? Not today. Alexander, 17 yards, gone. His 3rd touchdown. Sean Alexander's ragtime marching band. Big game for him, 165 yards, and the Seattle Seahawks have a stranglehold in their division. They're 7-2. The Rams are 4-5. Since they swept them, they're really 4 up. And look, the way this division is with the Niners and Arizona, Seattle has a chance now to not only draw distance with everybody in this division, Tom, but as far as NFC records go, they could end up with the best or second best record in the conference.
Yeah, I think this was key for them because of what happened with the Rams last year when they got swept during the regular season and losing to this team, what, 2-3 times over the course of the season. And so you put that to rest. And then I think the other thing is you've got the premier. We talk about LaDainian Tomlinson. You know, no one can argue that Sean Alexander may be the premier running back in this league right now, and he's going to be staring down 2. He's going to be staring down 2,000 yards before the season's over.
An emotional week for Seattle as Ken Hamlin, member, injured off field a few weeks ago, paid a couple visits to the team, and they played that way off their bye. When we return, Seahawks mean business with the Panthers mean business. They'd won 5 in a row, going into the game with the Jets at 6-2. And I know the Packers are 1-7, but they didn't look like it going into another 6-2 team, Atlanta. Troy Polamalu gearing up for the game tonight, the Sunday night game with the Steelers against the Browns. Before becoming one of the best safeties in football, Troy Polamalu was a star running back for Douglas High Trojans in Winston, Oregon. Here he is, number 41. He hadn't had a haircut in about 3 or 4 years, but this is, see, look at him, barrel, 22 touchdowns as a junior, 1,000 yards. This just in, he's good.
Primetime Flashback, brought to you by NikeGridiron.com.
Daylight come and you got it, Delhomme. That's Jake Delhomme and the Panthers at home against the New York Jets. They've won 5 in a row to Kerry Colbert. To Justin Miller. Knocks him into the end zone. The draft pick, second-round pick, making his first start. But it's a touchdown, 19 yards, 7-0. Delhomme hit. Rashad Washington of the Jets scoops up the fumble. He's in the end zone. Is it tied at 10? John Fox says, wait a minute. I'm challenging because...
Yeah, you take another look at this. You can see... Referee can't miss that flag, can he? I threw it right at your feet. You can see right there Jake Delhomme's arm in motion, ruling it was an incomplete pass.
Fox was trying to mimic Delhomme's motion. It was going. The flag was going forward, you see. Julius Peppers lays out Brooks Bollinger. Suave Bollinger, the youngster starting for the injured Vinny, picked off by Will Witherspoon. The Jets made this a good game for about 3 quarters, but in the end, they just don't have enough for a team like Carolina. And so, Carolina 23 points off turnovers. They win 30-3. They've won 6 in a row, and they're up their mark to 7-2 in what's a very competitive NFC South with them, Atlanta, and Tampa.
Yeah, and we always talk about Carolina and the kind of finishes that they have had during the second half of a season. We're looking at that same thing. The Jets, always competitive.
And you see they forced 6 Jets turnovers. Packers at the Falcons. Brett Favre was a first-year Packer in 1992, the last time he visited Georgia Dome. Does anyone remember for 1 year he was a backup quarterback on the Atlanta Falcons? Well, they don't because Michael Vick is there. Woo. Sam Gatto. In Gatto we trust on his 23rd birthday, making the most of it. 7-0 Green Bay. Shuffle pass to Gatto. 14-0. Green Bay?
Yeah.
They're 1-7.
And look at the replay. Look at the power that he shows once he gets hit. Probably about the 2-3 yard line. Powers that ball right there to the end zone.
Falcons have scored, make it 14-7. The fake to Duckett. And Vick makes it around the corner, puts the ball out. We're tied at 14 all.
Yeah, and Brady Papinga is going to be the only guy who really reads this on the outside, left of your screen. And you look at the angle taken, and you can see right there, it looks like he's got a great angle, but not when you're chasing Mike Vick. Mike Vick hits that extra gear, gets it right over the cone.
Now, third quarter, Packers bring in some defense. Again, a team that's 1-7. Kenny Peterson is going to hit Vick and force a fumble, and Nick Barnett is on it. Now, the Pack don't take advantage of this turnover, but then here's Barnett on the next series. Wow, is he in there quickly. 26-17 Green Bay, Falcons on their own 19. Vick to Rowdy Rod White. Ahmad Carroll forces a fumble. Nick Barnett is Johnny on the spot again. And number 56 is going to go all the way down to the 2. Play was challenged, but upheld. And then Simcon in Gatto we trust. You gotta like this guy. 3 touchdowns and a shocker in Atlanta. The Green Bay Packers, with 1 win, beat the Falcons with 6 wins, 33-25, Favre 26-39.
Yeah, and the thing that jumps out at me is Gatto, Samcon Gatto, 25 carries, 103 yards. They have not had the balance, the run support to go with Brett Favre's arm. It might be very interesting to watch them get some balance with that offense.
2 interesting divisions, the NFC South, the NFC East, and a pair of 5-3 teams vying for top spots in those divisions. The Redskins and the Buccaneers met in what was supposed to be a defensive struggle in the new sombrero. That's why they play the games, because you figured this would be 16-15? Not. Joe Gibbs and the Redskins. The Skins haven't been to Tampa Bay since '99, the playoffs. You're in good hands with Allstott. Mike Allstott leaping a la Marcus into the end zone, 7-0 Tampa Bay. How about the play of Simeon Rice? Watch him force the fumble on Mark Brunell on 3rd down.
Pick off a Mark Brunell pass right there.
Yep. Causes another fumble. Rice 4 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and a pick. By the way, just the first half. Now, Mike, from the 1, he's automatic. Remember that. Allstott touchdown 14-3. Then Liddell Dickey Betts with a guitar riff and a spin and a jaunt up the sideline. Gone. 94 yards. Betts returns. And it's 21-13 Bucks at the half. Cadillac Williams gets nailed by Joe Salavea. Fumbles the football, Skins in position. Brunell to Mike Sellers. Hits a Sellers market, puts his shoulder down, touchdown. Redskins go for 2, they get it, 21 all. Brunell under pressure. How many times has he hooked up with Santana Moss this year? What a catch, what a throw.
Yeah, you look at the move, the little dip outside right there, and then he blows by Brian Kelly, and you just can't keep up with him.
And then nice pass to Liddell Betts over the middle. All bets are off. The Skins lead 28-21. Chris Sims really struggled his first 2 starts for Tampa Bay. Edel Shepard, 46 yards from Sims. The Bucks in scoring position. This is a different Sims. This time to the veteran Ike Hilliard. Touchdown. 4 yards, tied at 28. These are the Redskins and the Bucks putting up points like there's no tomorrow. Mark Brunell to Chris Cooley. 4 yards on 4th down. They keep the ball. Clinton Portis, 8-yard touchdown. 35-28. Then 6 minutes to go. Sims, Joey Galloway. What a game this turned out to be. 33 yards. Galloway, a rebirth this year in Tampa Bay. Under 4 to go. 4th and goal. Sims Pass batted down by Phillip Daniels. Turnover on downs. But with 1:05 left, the Bucs have one more chance. And boy, did they make the most of it. Edel Shepard, touchdown, 35-34. Blocked. But wait a minute, Tom. About 2 or 3 guys were 2 steps offside.
Yeah, both of the outside guys jumped the count a little bit. That's why both of them were on the verge of blocking that ball.
So the penalty halfway to the goal. They're at the, wait a minute, they're going to go for 2, not the kick. They waited a long time. Did he get in? Mike Allstott. John Gruden gambling for the win rather than the tie after the penalty. It's good. 36-35 Bucs. But the Skins are not done. Brunell against his body to Chris Cooley. Down to the 44. John Hall wants a chance. 4th and 10 Skins. Got to keep the drive alive. Dwayne White, Shelton Quarles, stop Brunell. And in a game that you thought would be in the teens, Tampa Bay snaps their brief losing streak. And they beat the Redskins 36-35 on a gill on the 2-point conversion rather than a kick by John Gruden. And now see what Dick Vermeil's done. Every time somebody's down at the 1, Vermeil did it, Gruden did it. Go for the win. If you fail, you lose the game. What a gamble that paid off. Now we've seen it 2 straight.
Yeah, and I thought you made a good point. You know, we talk about the football, and you're not going to see a lot of coaches do this normally, but when you see that defensively you're having an awfully hard time stopping the other team, you don't want to let it go down to a toss of the coin where the other team gets the ball. You never get a chance to get offensively the football and go down and have a chance to score. So I like the decision as long as you're making it work, as long as those are the circumstances. And young Chris Sims, see, you know, Coach Gruden said, I'm going to go with him. We're going to live with this kid. You can see he's growing up awfully fast.
Well, so the Bucs are the team that moves to 6-3. The Redskins fall to 5-4 on a gamble again. We had Coach Ditka on this morning. How many would go for it? I think after these
Not
2
many.
weeks, more though.
Not many.
It's starting a trend.
Know.
It's wide open. It's like the NHL now. It's wide open. Go for it. What a gamble by Gruden that pays off when we return. Game balls. Well, we saw records set today, so you know we're going to be looking there. And all the records in the Norris. A lot of them.
Is it fair that
NFL Primetime, presented by Miller Lite. On your next beer run, grab some great-tasting, less-filling Miller Lite. Miller, good call. And in part by Chevy, the new Chevrolets, an American revolution. And United, it's time to fly.
Boomer, my game ball goes to Darren Sharper. You just look at the game he had, the 4 tackles, 5 passes defended, but 3 interceptions. It's not often you get to say that about any defensive player, including a 92-yarder that turned this game around.
It was quite a day for the Vikes, but on the longest play in the history of the NFL, 108-yard field goal return at the end of the half, Nathan Vasher makes them swoop. There were 5 guys he spun around right there, and by the time he was done, he had helped the Bears extend that winning streak 108 yards. And we saw the Vikes. We saw Sean Alexander. It's a wild day. It was fun. For Tom Jackson, I'm Chris Berman. Thanks for watching NFL Prime Time.